behalf of Occupy Our Homes Atlanta. My name is Frankie, and in the case of the people versus Sheriff Brown, Sheriff Brown has attempted to charge us with disorderly conduct, littering, and creating a hazardous environment. From our perspective, those are not our offenses, those are his. In the case of Miss Chrisine Frazer, she was evicted at 3 a.m. A 65-year-old woman, an 85-year-old woman, her 3-year-old grandson, and her 25-year-old daughter. To us, that seems to be creating a hazardous environment. He has seemed to try to charge us with littering when all of her belongings were not only thrown all over the front yard and in the middle of the street, they were also thrown on her neighbor's yard in the middle of the street. Not only is that something that I would consider littering, but it's just distasteful. The neighbors who had nothing to do with the eviction at all were inconvenienced by the situation. And last but not least, he is charging us with disorderly conduct. I don't see anything orderly about evicting a family at 3 a.m., 40 cops deep at gunpoint. As you can see here, this was the aftermath. This is not only Miss Frazer's yard, but it's also the neighbor's yard. Terribly inconvenienced. 18 years worth of belongings all over 2 front lawns. And I don't know what that looks like to you guys, but we're here to serve a citation to the real perpetrators, which happens to be the DeKalb County Police Department and Sheriff Brown. Who would like to start with the testifying? Chrisine Frazer?
Well, I am here on behalf of my family because that was a terrible thing that they did to us at 3 a.m. in the morning. They came into my home like I was a drug dealer, like they would look like they were portraying NCIS or something. I asked for common courtesy. Can I take a shower? No, ma'am. This is an act like it was a fire. Grab your most important belongings and you have to leave, Miss Frazer. You didn't allow myself or my mom to even take a shower. And it took them 7 hours to get 18 years worth of stuff out of that house. So where's the common decency? It was just truly an inhumane act. Not only was it out of order, but it was just truly inhumane. My 3-year-old grandson, he still talks about it. It hasn't left his spirit, and it hasn't left mine. These type of things have to stop. Legislation needs to be passed, but this can't happen. Georgia needs to become a judicial foreclosure state, and homeowners need to have the right to take their case in the case of an eviction. They need to be able to talk about what they have found as evidence. And as quiet as it's kept, the judges can look and see. If my lawyer here can see that there was some kind of fraud that was perpetrated, I know a trained judge can see it as well. So there are a lot of people who need to be held accountable, but we're going to start with Sheriff Brown, because for him to make that decision to come in 40 deep at 3 a.m. in the morning, something had to be out of place. Something in the milk wasn't clean. Somebody really wasn't thinking straight at all.
That's right.
I guess as far as I'm concerned, of course, I've been waiting anxiously for Occupy Atlanta to come, Occupy Wall Street to come to Atlanta. In fact, I was one of the first, I got there a week early. In fact, one of the first ones to go to jail we have. Now, I think we need to keep the focus clearly on the fact that the 1% own at least over 80% of the wealth of the nation.
That's right. These
police officers are part of that 99. And somehow I think we have to keep our eyes on the prize, and that's that 1% that is causing these actions to go into play. So from the bank who makes the demand before a judge, and our whole criminal justice system gets cranked up. So when the judge, because this country leans toward people with property, and the banks and so forth. So when this criminal justice system get cranked up, and most people in the criminal justice system, that's the part of the 99 that's locked out, don't have nothing. And so orders are issued. In this instance, order came from a Superior Court judge. Mostly time, of course, the sheriff don't do eviction. I think this would be his 8th or 9th eviction this year. There's been in DeKalb County over 900 evictions over the last year. Of course, the marshal is no different than the sheriffs. They're simply people that is responding, trying to hold their jobs and so forth. So I think we have to really begin to focus on the people, that 1% that's greedy and trying to take everything. Now, we've talked to the sheriff about the 3 o'clock time, and we've talked to him about all of that, how that happened. Now, we're going to go inside and visit with the sheriff. He said to me that he's going to accept the eviction notice. So I guess we're going to, Ms. Frazer, Tim, attorney, that's why I talked to him about come in and serve the eviction on him. And Tim?
I just would like to say again, what's happened to Ms. Frazer here is clearly an injustice, not just because of the 3 a.m. eviction, which is really the crux of this current issue, but just how she got there, how the individuals who claim to have rights over her property exercised an illegal right and fraudulent right over her property, to then dispossess her and then have Sheriff Brown execute just a heinous eviction at 3 a.m. in the morning. Hopefully through this media, through this social uprising here, we can get the rest of this state and hopefully the nation to see that this injustice is not just here but everywhere around the whole country, and try to really get these laws changed so that we can establish people's rights. Because as you know, and as Mr. Beasley has just stated, the 1% really are creating the laws. We need to take it back and put it in the 99% hands, because we're the ones doing the voting. We're the ones essentially really affected by these laws. So hopefully now with this citation, this case, and many others, we can change the laws and really get the law and the power back in the people's hand rather than the corporations' hands. And that's essentially it. That's the goal.
All right. Sounds great.
Let's hear it. Power to the people!
Power to the people!
Housing is a human right, ladies and gentlemen.
Housing is a human right, that is for sure.
Yes, it is.
Housing is a human right!
Housing is a human right! Housing is a human right!
In that regard, I guess it must have been Habitat 2 in Istanbul, Turkey. I was there for the United Nations conference. And the whole world was saying housing is a right. The United States almost alone saying housing is not a right. Because so our country's totally on the wrong side of this issue.
That's right.
As the attorney said, we need to make this a national issue. And in fact, just being a human being, you're entitled to decent housing.
And I guess what's also funny is in Georgia's Constitution, you have a right to life, liberty, and property. So what's funny is that in your own Constitution, they're taking away one of the essential rights in the Constitution in which they've written. So essentially, in putting people out like this and claiming they have no standing, they're going against their own Constitution. And this is something we really should bring to the judges and bring to the forefront of these issues. Bring your own Constitution. And that's something we need to really push forward. If you're going to claim it's the law to be able to evict, if you're going to claim it's the law that they have a right to foreclose, well then we need to claim as the groundwork for all of these laws, as far as individuals being able to fight for their right in their property and not have they be levied from their property and taking their property away until that's really been justified and dealt with in the court system properly. And that's really, again, a crux of one of these issues here, going back to the creation of laws, life, liberty, and property.